Hi from North Carolina.
Let me ask you something, stranger. How can you be sure that right now, in this very dimension, that this is real? It is said you think therefore you are, but I believe such trivial mind rattles cost too much brain currency. It's bad for business. So I simply refuse.
Why has this character got no pants on? Did we really have to have a character that has no pants on? Did we really need that?
Refuse to exist. What if this is a dream avenue? The mind is a stream of misconstrued. You say this is deja vu, but you haven't even had your...
Dude, he got his hair done recently. He literally copied my hairstyle, man. He copied my hairstyle. Wait a minute. I might actually snitch on him on stream. Hang on. There's a video of him lifting here. Right, I'm just gonna embarrass him straight up. I don't care.
Are you ever going to do a main channel vid on Stalker and Roadside Picnic?
Notice how he copied the hair, by the way. Notice that. His hair is brown. It is not blonde. Crazy. It's like that scene where SpongeBob's lifting the plushies as weights. He's underhanding and overhanding the grip. Gay. Not a real rep. Yeah, we have this group chat where we share men working out and sweating. It's very normal. Anyways. All right. I need to finish Dream Barbecue. Apparently I was like 20 minutes away from finishing it as well, but I made like one choice that locked me out of some content and I just gave up.
Now, I'll be honest, I don't know how to talk about Dream Barbecue to my fullest potential. So I'm gonna let my chronically online alter ego do the talking. Personality calibrated. Alright.
It's just the same and he still has no pants on, by the way.
I think one of the mistakes people make when playing Dream Barbecue is just chalking it up as a random XD experience, even though there's so much more context and beauty in its chaoticism. My best friend on the shelf here said that he thought his dreams were nonsense. Big mistake, buddy. Here's a picture of your mother. So, in my own non-plagiarized opinion, I think there's some context to nonsense. Let me catch you up on some relatable grounds. Surely, we have all had that one dream where we were lost in a Windows 95 screensaver. Context? I got lost in a Walmart one time when I was 5. So that means I should get therapy for abandonment issues. It is but
That didn't happen, mate. You're British. There's no Walmarts. There's no Walmarts in the UK. He's lying. He's lying.
Distortion of my twisted mind. Anna, or Ina, is an abstract internet animated series that is the contorted brainchild of Joel G. And despite having a few episodes, it grew really popular and now has a first chapter of its own game.
Yeah, you got lost in an Asda.
Cool, but what is Anna about?
May I please enter? I have some urgent information to communicate to my pal Mooney.
Your exterior isn't up to our community's typical standards. Present a blood sample at once.
Well, upon first watch, it's hard to tell. And upon second watch, it's even harder to tell. None of it is explicitly telling you its story directly. It begs to be interpreted differently by many people. Anna is surrealist art, confirmed by Dream Barbecue's Steam Star's description. It bears the aesthetic concoction of oxymoronic objects present in wrong areas.
I don't think there's any lore to the game, genuinely. I think it is just meant to be nonsense for the sake of it. It's there was this film called Mad God. It was like a stop motion film. Really good film. I do recommend watching it. You gave it a 6.8 L. But yeah, Mad God was really good. But it's like people were trying to interpret the film and what actually happens in it and the meanings behind it, but there's nothing. It's just like a bunch of stuff that the creator Phil Tippett just made. I forgot what Phil Tippett did. I think he was on what is Phil Tippett famous for? Stop motion animation and creature designs. Ah, Star Wars trilogy. That's right. Jurassic Park. He basically was the guy that did all the stop motion for like films like that. But yeah, it is a good film. It's really weird though. It's very weird. But it just doesn't make any sense.
To define surrealist art, surrealism is an art and cultural movement that developed in Europe in the aftermath. Got that? Good. I'm not repeating myself. It's bad for finances. If artistic expression is made up of an artist's experiences, surrealism could be the most versatile way to present experiences in art. To go even further, Joel says Enna was inspired by Pablo Picasso's painting, Girl Before a Mirror.
Bless you for your business.
Picasso, a man who drew, and drew until he died from death. Hey you, tired of your dumb old shirt stinking up and looking like complete poo-poo? Well, have I got the solution?
Don't be merch. Don't be merch. Don't be merch. Don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Feel cozy
Don't buy
with
it.
the fire of hate.
Don't buy it.
Wear it around
I'm skipping. I'm skipping.
Even the
Look at that, bro! You copied my hair, bro!
My name off the bottom here. Link down the description to the merch store. Get them while they last. They are
Look at that!
limited.
Look at that, man! Bro went to the barber and said, give me the pyro fade. Look at that!
They're running out.
Obsessed!
I mean, of all the people I've shown Dream Barbecue to, even the mention of its name I am met with, oh, yes, you are very cultured. 5 head pats for you. And because surrealism is supposed to represent a dreamlike experience, you literally begin Dream Barbecue in an already dreamlike world, shrouded in sharp reds and blacks, by going to bed. Honk, honk, shoo, shoo, wake up, get to work. Oh, this is a nightmare.
Seems
Honk, shoo, shoo.
Joel wanted to make Dream Barbecue surrounding nightmares, which is opposite to a dream. And to be quick, the gist of chapter 1 is that you demand to talk to the boss, but you can't get to him because the entities of your dream keep smoking fat Marlboro Golds, so it's blocking the path to him. So you enter what is called the Lonely Door, where you find out that the genie, this omnipotent being, can help solve your issues. Though upon mentioning the name, it's immediately distorted into Now, if we're going by the studies of a Norwood Type 6...
Dude, I love that wizard in the game. He's meant to be like a rip-off or like a reference to like the Zelda CDI cutscenes.
Man with mommy issues. There's a discussion about some dreams derived from wish fulfillment. A CSGO knife unbox, a wet dream, that means sex. Or the relieving sight of a toilet. No, don't use that. It's bait for the newbies of this realm. Chapter 1 is literally a giant bit about going to the bathroom in the dream, by the way. I found that out like after I finished writing this. Another part of the mind represented in dreams are the troubles of the conscious state. You've woken up in high school, naked for your teeth to suddenly fall from its roots. We aren't sure what causes these experiences, but they are surely rooted from experiences of some points in our lives. Look at this guy. This is sales.
Crazy how he's doing 10 times better game breakdown analysis than you. Yeah, but he's gay though, so.
Person, Enna. They are a hard worker and in almost every interaction are offering a way to help a potential client.
But you're bleeding out some real bullshit here! You're a flip!
Hey,
the Enna in Dream
Pyro,
Barbecue
there's a
is
cool
different
musical
from the Enna series. And as we know, there are 2 parts to these Ennas. However, I like to theorize that in Dream Barbecue, her left side could be her wish fulfillment, a pragmatic person who wishes to sell stuff and get work done, whilst the pale side can be her troubled state, the defensive personality, a survival mechanism that
I like the
expresses
Spyro
how
music.
they really feel.
I respect it.
Okay, leave this stupid event. My lame, scheduleless role. I can't afford another minute of joy.
And Edda is obsessed with jobs, so much so that they aren't even called quests.
Time to get to work.
And I have a sneaking suspicion that Enna dual wields daggers to take a jab at jobs, of how people lower on the hierarchy are viewed, where asking questions makes you problematic.
Who else is involved in the decision making?
Vous m'avez l'air très problématique.
And a jab at a lot of modern video games having shallow side content to where their player bases end up calling them chores. Todd, Dream Barbecue is no different. There's as much interactivity in this game as there is in Night in the Woods. And because of that, the game has to be full of things to keep the player engaged and encouraged enough to explore its contortions.
Please show the guy. No, he didn't show the guy that looks back at you. That guy was based.
Style is perfect for something like Ina because it encourages you to explore these illogical treats. One moment there's a sea of red, to suddenly a sea of delicious milk from the delicious milkman. Fucking, what am I saying? A dream on the surface level.
You do not need to project your fantasies into the video.
Is nonsense. But surely, there are reasons for what creates these unconscious experiences in not only Anna's mind, but also Joel's experiences as an artist. The Wanderers have the heads of 3D hippos and snakes, connected to what I assume is an incomplete body, represented by a low polygonal diamond that is encased within veins in a ribcage. There are buildings that physically don't make sense. There's a whole nother terrain that stands directly above you, where it should really block the sun, but it doesn't. In the book House of Leaves,
wait.
it should really block the
That's the picture of that seal. You know that seal that's looking? It's got its head up and it looks like it's got a mouth.
sun, but it doesn't. In the book,
I didn't even know that.
The house on Ashtree Lane was a structure that defied its architectural language. Its communication of its interiors was illogical, making it difficult to navigate for its residents. Inside the 5.5-minute hallway, walls would shift, stairs would rise and shrink, and eventually, the room you would have previously been in would just disappear, even outside of the hallway. It is said that during Karen's viewing of tapes, the wall behind her disappeared. You can't go into the house on Ashtree Lane with a logical way of navigating its structure because it completely refuses to communicate them and burdens its victims with Stockholm Syndrome.
Seals tend to have mouths. No. Where is it? Where's the meme? No, where is it, bro? There it is. No, this is it. Look, because the head's above water, but it looks like that's a little mouth. See, I'm not stupid.
Special dish, burning curiosity. Barbecue Dream's communication to the player isn't a mystique. Like a dream, it's an experience. You are encouraged to explore. What's this guy doing up here? How do I get there? I have a grave, and I have a head. So let's grow a child, of course. Sex ed! Turns out you can pet the big fellow. Ooh, a free achievement. Now that is an classic Xbox 360 reference that only kids before 9/11 would get. It regresses the player down to Grandma Uggs than the Doom guy. It lures you to explore every nook and cranny for secrets to find hidden doors that you must enter because what if you are missing something? Sometimes it's a dead end, but you wouldn't have known that if you hadn't tried. Why should you regret checking in the first place? And yes, that whole section just then was an excuse for me to finally bring up House of Leaves in a video. That book has taken me way too long to finish. There's also a big theme with doors in Dream Barbecue. Oh, but it's not just the literal doors, but you got doors wrapped in metaphors also. When one door closes, another opens. Is a sentence you've probably heard before that's used to tend to wounds when you take what the youngins call an L.
I agree with the 5 mission. Hey, Pyro, I'm Syrian, and somehow I feel bad for you knowing you're from Birmingham. No, fair point.
So, when Dream Barbecue has alt paths after rescuing the 4th witch so the shaman can create your own sun with delicious soil, you've messed up. After the shaman huts explodes, the taxi driver's cab is crushed. But here's this new cool area to check out that you wouldn't have otherwise. Destroy the working class like a true salesperson type shit. The shaman even recognizes other paths in the game.
What had to be done was done, but what hadn't been done was done too. And now that it is done, it may be done again. Done.
Did I mention that this game is meta? And what's this about a genie? Huh. That's a weird thing that just happened that I'm definitely going to discuss later to keep viewers engaged. The characters you do jobs for are a whole experience in themselves. I'd argue that the characters are the main attractions for this franchise, considering that they were also the focus for the online.
The best character in the whole game. I don't even know who this guy is, but he's the best character in the whole franchise. Thank you, Rainbow, for the 34 months.
For the online series, and for half the content surrounding this game being the weirdest game I've ever played. So I'm going to spoil the end of Dream.
He did 301 plus views.
So leave if you want to forego from this very important business meeting.
Yeah, I want a jawline like that, bro. I don't even think mewing can do it.
Playing Dream Barbecue is a cruel reminder.
I don't understand Aina at all. I don't think it's meant to be understood. I think it's just random for the sake of it. It's just a bunch of like very creative, artistic people coming together and just making like something that is like somewhat of like a cohesive storyline.
That you missed all your Duolingo lessons, as most of the characters speak in riddles that ain't no red, white, and blue.
Dude, that vampire guy, I didn't even know this. He's voiced by Joel from Vinesource. I thought that was so cool.
Speak tongue I've ever heard. This is America, United Kingdom, Australia, Netherlands, France, and Russia. It's cute. It's fun to see an array of personalities portrayed in alternate languages that Anna...
It was Vinny, not Joel. Oh, the American one. I meant the American one, Vinny. Yeah, not Joel. Joel's the Swedish one.
...understands perfectly.
I've seen way too many characters simp over this woman. There are way too many people simping over her.
You look like a fellow entrepreneur. Let me shake your hand and collect your genius germs.
In the stream, it appears to be a normal occurrence as it goes unquestioned as to why Anna, or even the player, may understand them. And sometimes, the languages are representative of the characters they are. The frog, who appreciates getting his work done,
You cut over the 10. Tarkov made a PvE $20 expansion. There seems to be some deep-centered lore with it. I'd really love if you looked into it. Oh, really? They made a PvE lore? PvE mode? Yeah, because I was sick of the PvP because I just got washed, but I played the PvE for a little bit. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't know they actually added their own official mode now. That's pretty cool.
Japanese. Frogs in Japan can be representative of fortune. The receptionist who looks down on you for being poor represents French people. Or the angry dog rat thing that loves to hoard actually has an in-game made-up fictional language I think they call Italian.
Did that kind young man from the bridge let you in too? What a gentleman. I hope he's having a good day.
Each character has their quirks, and most are quick to claim that they're the boss, but the main guy you'll keep in contact with is Froggy.
I'm over here stroking my dick.
At the start of the game, he tells you that there's smoke blocking the way to the boss. You see it in the environment of the hub world, and you see it in the environment.
PvE is free if you bought Edge of Darkness. Yeah, I bought that version because I'm stupid. God, I bought that like 6 years ago now.
Past the lonely door. So, you spend the entirety of chapter 1 to find this benevolent genie to solve the issue. It's pretty weird though, like, why is any mention of this genie censored? Well...
Is the PvE mode co-op? Is it co-op? Can you do it with mates? Because if you can, that's actually worth reinstalling Tarkov over, I think. Oh, really? You can? Damn, I might actually reinstall Tarkov then.
The bald mommy man also goes on to discuss distortions in dreams, and that it's the mind trying to censor a dream from reaching conscious memory. You know, when you open your eyes. Which upon reading this, blew my cranium's i9000 CPU up out of awesome realization. So the censorship of the genie is literally Anna's mind trying to censor it.
We know you don't have friends. I've got multiple Steam accounts and voices in my head. That's enough, thank you.
If you're lucky enough to have a discussion with the genie, it denies us forgiveness and ascension to Poop God because Anna has done something before. Maybe not in this timeline, but another? Remember how this game has multiple routes? Meeting the genie like this is one of them. If you fail to reach the bathroom, you instead end up meeting the remains of the former genie, where it tells you that the genie could be conscious of alternate outcomes, like how the shaman seems aware of the other paths the player can take. The remains of this genie asks you to tap into its memories, where it shows you a reality where Anna achieved her deepest desires. In this case, clearing the smoke that plagues the hub world. The solution, destroying a shisha pipe, angers vape heads around the world. Though, when you destroy the smoke machine, the world beyond the lonely door is now different. Grey, bland, full of death, and worst of all, real estate agents. And in the Smokyverse, it was made to confuse and disorientate, which I don't know if you've realized yet, is pretty much what this whole game's goal is. You have dismantled the dream and have revealed the nightmare.
I can no longer sense the stench of any lie. Vain pretense has met his match, and noble truth holds sway.
Smokescreens are psychological.
I find it amazing they come up with these character designs totally sober. Seriously.
Weapons used to hide a person's true intentions.
He's just T-posing on the floor. Average Italian.
So then, the existence of the smokescreen begs the lingering question. What is the boss up to, and why do we want to target them? This could be why the genie finds Anna unforgivable. If it is conscious of all the other realities and routes, well, that makes sense, because in all routes, the end goal for Anna was to destroy the smoke machine, and she always succeeds at it. Traveling more throughout the nightmare version of this world, we see these mannequins trapped in some polyhedric daggers. If you played this game and paid attention, you would see a couple of these around before, dead in peculiar spaces. Hecking hell, if you even watched the series, they were everywhere in Temptation's Stairway. But what are they really? Obviously, they are reminiscent of the wood mannequins that artists will use as reference. Their purpose is to serve as a guidance. Sculptures, animations, key poses, or
is that the Simpsons behind him?
even finished drawings at its core can have the skeletal beginnings of a mannequin. The mannequins we frequently see in Anna are faceless, without personality, unimportant, and often go unrecognized so far that I'd wager some players forgot they were there until they were met with the faceless world after the smoke cleared. At the end of chapter 1, which is the only chapter...
Instagram Reels schizo posting if it was a game. Dude, I'm being recommended schizos on Instagram Reels now. I hate it. They'll film like a mirror. They'll film themselves in a mirror, just convinced that it's someone else watching them. It like it's not even funny. It's like they actually need to go to a psych unit or something.
Out right now. We watch as Anna is in...
There was one woman that was filming at midnight and she was amazed that her microwave hit like 0000 for midnight. She thought it was like an NSA psyop or something.
Honed by the same shapes that cover the mannequins. For the end cutscene to play, showing that a mannequin is pulled out of Anna into this digital matrix. Before being dragged back into the hub world, where she then assumes a different mannequin. This process shuffles through different types of interpretations before finalizing on the Ina we are familiar with. In my humble opinion, the mannequins are vessels for entities. Entities being these artistic byproducts of the stylistic and generational inspirations. Their hand-drawn styles can vary from modern to something reminiscent of the CDI player. You know, like Zelda or Hotel Mario. If you were born before 9/11. From lower poly models to more high polygonal models. The variety and randomness is no surprise, considering Anna's character design is rooted in inspirations from Picasso, whose outlook on artistic variation is pretty liberating.
Variation does not mean evolution. If an artist varies his mode of expression, this only means that he has changed his manner of thinking. And in changing, it may be for the better, or it may be for the worse. I haven't paid my taxes since 1996.
Anna's world has a variation.
I don't think
style,
Picasso sounded like
it is
that.
not indicative of evolution. Each entity has their place for how they are expressed. And to be a side of sweet potato fries to this message milkshake, the visual quality of a character can almost be like status. Like the mannequins, a default nothing NPC that collects dole from their fucking Centrelink, or the genie, also known as Theodora, a thou shalt not
don't be
named type
talking
of
shit about me
character within the
Centrelink,
Lone Star, in
mate.
which their form has this high polygonal 3D character, the most realistic appearing out of the other 3D entities. So this could represent them as a higher being. To back this idea up, when you first talk to Theodora, you are in a form of...
There you Coyote for the 10. For PvE, you need to start over, but for hideout and item quests, loot every container you see, and dead scav, the game is programmed to be hard. Needed quest, hideout, items spawn less. I mean, as long as it doesn't reset your progress, like with the wipes do on main, then that's kind of best.
Of Anna, where the wireframe of a soul is peering out of the more smoother, realistic, humanesque form of Anna. And when you talk to Theodora, she forgives you, elevating you higher on the good boy scale, where you then assume the form of a poop angel. Before being unforgiving because Anna type shit, you feel? Anyway, I'll let myself out your door as my budget is finally bleeding out. Anna is a strange web series that, if you look too far deep into enough, results with people looking at you like you have an electricity allergy. I remember when the first trailers for Death Stranding was coming out, that there was so little information on what the story for that world was even going to be. When I actually sat with the game, all those cryptic slices started to make sense because the world and its rules were explained in all excruciating 11
hours. The worst thing is, I swear the opening is like 3 hours of cutscenes and the ending is like 5 hours of cutscenes. So it is gameplay, but it's just the beginning and the end that are just so cutscene heavy.
Hours of explaining. And this is only chapter 1. With the arrival of a chapter 2, there's a possibility that it might start to make more sense. No promises though. We don't manufacture promises.
That was a good video. I like that. I'm not watching his merch promo. Yeah, obviously check out Ramska. Makes really good videos. Yeah, I really thought that video would do better. Yeah, guys, go, if you haven't already, go sub to his channel. He actually made a video, Russian Badger, and he called it Friend Slop.